Hari Om. Let us now continue. Love of quietude. Vivikta Desha Sevitva. The previous value that we studied, in which one is happily with oneself and not longing company. The longing is what is to be addressed. Aratihi, Jana Samsadi, and Vivikta Desha Sevitva are companion values. Vivikta Desha Sevitva, in which one is happily with oneself and not longing company, and Aratihi, Jana Samsadi are companion values. They complement each other. It is not that a quiet place in and of itself is intrinsically something good, or that the presence of company is something bad. But the values are for a happy, non-escaping mind that loves being with itself. Such a mind is happy with itself in quietude, does not run after escape. There's no escapist attitude. Never rebels in or hates company. These are two beautiful attitudes. Non-escapist mind that loves to be with itself. Such a mind is happy with itself in quietude, does not run after escape, neither revels in or hates company. These are two beautiful attitudes. With these values, I will never seek to escape from being with myself. Nor will I be disturbed either by the presence or absence of people. I will have composure whether I am with people or without them. Both values provide enough time and mind to assess oneself in a positive manner, not overly criticizing oneself, but looking at oneself with a healthy attitude. It is only in quietude that our true personalities manifest themselves. So, even if there are any lacunae or aberrations or angularities, we will be able to face them squarely and address them. That is why these two values are prescribed. Once in a while, go to a secluded place and learn to live with yourself. Like Thomas Hardy says, far from the madding crowd. It is important to see the basis of these attitudes, to see through the values to the value underneath them. Aratihi Jana Samsadi is not a value for avoiding people, nor is Vivikta Desha Sevitva a value for seeking quietude because one cannot stand people. No. Someone who seeks seclusion out of hatred of people is not expressing these values. Such a person is afraid of people, and fear of people is not a desirable thing in life. Equally, the other extreme, courting the company of people all the time to escape from oneself, is not any more desirable than the fear of people. The attitude that is proper is not hatred of people, but a simple love of quietude, because I love to be with myself and therefore do not court company. I love to be with myself and therefore do not court company. This attitude establishes the right frame for a contemplative mind. For a mind given to inquiry, vichara. Inquiry here means inquiry into the basic, profound questions about myself. Who am I? What is this creation? Who is God? What is the relationship between God, the creation, and me? So, the questions that come up or should come up during inquiry are: who am I? What is this creation? Who is God? What is the relationship between God, the creation, and me? Inquiry into these subtle questions requires special sensitivity of the mind, sensitivity beyond what is needed to inquire into the functioning or description of tangible objects or processes. It takes a different mindset to do so. As someone beautifully said, there is more to be discovered in the unseen than there is in what is seen. To discover what is unseen requires a certain attitude, a certain shraddha, a certain bhakti, the willingness to stick with it till it is realized. It requires a different mindset, an orientation, a different perspective. Inquiry into something tangible, how to make bread, or even the grammar of a language, is aided by having changing objects to see, to watch. One can see the modifications, vikara taking place upon things, whether in a pan of dough or upon the stems of nouns and verbs. However, however, when the vichara is inquiry into the self, we are dealing with something that, although fundamental, is not tangible. We are only seeing the tip of the iceberg in the tangible space, tangible universe, in the gross universe. There's so much that lies beyond the boundaries of this gross universe. It does take a different mindset to appreciate it. So, when vichara is inquiry into the self, we are dealing with something that, although fundamental, is not tangible. The self is not a tangible object that lends itself to trial and error methods, checking by gross perceptions. Even before we go to the level of the self, even the subtle universe, understanding the subtle universe is quite a challenge for science, even today. Then, what to talk about the self? In our Shastras, we talk about the gross universe, subtle universe, and the causal universe. We are looking at only 1/4 of the total dimension. We're looking at only the gross universe and making conclusions, trying to extrapolate to the extent to which our knowledge allows us. But we must appreciate, we must learn, we must train to appreciate that there is a realm, a domain out there which is more profound, subtler than what meets the eye on the gross plane. Why? Scientists are talking about 10 to the power of 500 universes. They're talking about parallel universes, which we can't even imagine. We can't even imagine. So, the self is not a tangible object that lends itself to trial and error methods, checked by gross perceptions. The knowledge of the self must be seen as a whole. To appreciate the knowledge of the self, to see the self for the non objectifiable your wholeness that it is, to appreciate the knowledge of the self, to see the self for the non objectifiable wholeness that it is, requires a mind that is contemplative and sensitive. We will pick up this wonderful reading, assimilating and understanding of this wonderful value, Aratihi Jana Samsadi, taken along with its companion Vivikta Desha Sevitvam in the capsules to come. Hari Om. Om Durjana Sajjano Bhuyad Sajjana Shantimapnuyad Shanto Muccheta Bandhebhyah Muktaschanyan Vimochayet Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ